Answering reorder paragraphs is not a big deal. All you need to do is find out connection between different statements and then follow a simple strategy, right? Whenever you have to answer reorder paragraphs, always try to find out the introduction sentence first, right? Question, let's start with A. So if you look at A, in A, they are talking about some species which are endangered. Now, why can't A be the opening sentence? Or you're talking about certain species which are endangered. Now, whenever there are words like these, those, that, right? Like here they're using these species. That means they have already talked about those species earlier and now they're just referring. Suppose you have told a story to somebody. Time you'll be saying, in that story, you mean you are referring to something about which you've already talked, right? Similarly, in a sentence in reorder paragraph, when they refer to something like those species, these species, that means there was another sentence before this sentence, right, in which they were talking about the species and they were explaining or introducing. Now similarly for B, again they are referring to certain species like these species, so it will also not be an introductory sentence. So what is left? That is C. So the C will be the introductory sentence because the other two ones do not qualify, right? So that is one reason. So the reason that it's the introduction sentence is because when we write down that sentence alone, it will be a stand-alone complete sentence, right? We don't need to provide additional information like we had to in A or B where they were referring to certain species. So there was a question like, which species? Why are you saying these species? Which are these species? So there was that question. But if we look at C, if we write that sentence by itself, there won't be any question about it, right? Because it's complete. So it's saying that there are bird watchers who come to sanctuary and they can see diverse range of birds and now finding the next sentence. There's another trick that is common in most of the reorder paragraphs. That is, always the last part of current sentence will be the next part of the following sentence. That means suppose a sentence is referring to people in its end, right? At the end they're talking about people. The next sentence will also start with people, right? So if we look at this sentence at C, that is referring to species at the end, right? So that means there is a higher chance that if you choose a sentence which starts with species, that will be correct as compared to another one. So out of A and B, if we look at both the sentences, A is referring to species. So after C, next one will be A, and after A, what's left is B. So that will come after that.